me loose. Go no control. Money in my pocket and I'm all up in the zone like, ooh.
So our story continues with the vampires invading one of Sarazawa's weapons facility, trying to steal everything from anti-kaiju tech to future Jaeger tech that has been pretty much decommissioned and if not flat out canceled in general. So yeah, these guys are pretty much robbing anything tech related here. This is when Blade shows up and does his trademark, well, fancy schmancy vampire killing. All right. So again, if you guys remember, this is a live action universe, and this Blade will be portrayed by again Wesley Snipes. This would be like Wesley Snipes' Blade. Um, Again, I had Robert Downey Jr.'s Iron Man in here. So basically, my own little live action verse with a couple of key elements here as well. So you guys understand it, right? It's my own little Marvel crossover universe. Okay. So yeah, Blade begins to actually work out these vampires like he does in every other movie, every other comic. I mean, these vampires really ain't much of a match for him, but the numbers do start to, pile up and pile on here. Blade then starts whipping out those cool nunchucks and just starts going ham. Puts away his sword, gets the nunchucks out, just starts going ham on him. Now, originally I had Grimlock and Iron Man going to the facility, but I changed it and actually had Iron Man go separately. This is because I'm planning something here for the foreseeable future. Okay, so you have the so you have Iron Man, Model Prime, much more advanced than MCU, the standard MCU Iron Man here, actually going toe to toe and actually manhandling these vampires. He then has to switch up his combat type as these vampires are proving to be a little bit, a little faster than normal. As remember, these are Nordic Covenant vampires, like I said in my original video. So yeah, Iron Man then uses his samurai mode, which is possibly one of his cooler modes, I gotta admit here. He's able to redirect the kinetic energy and clash with these vampires pretty effectively and pretty easily. So this means that he's actually matching Blade's skill level just by, well, technically just being near him. Technically just by computer programming alone, which is more than impressive, okay? The fight is finished with the vampires slain here, and Iron Man actually asked Blade that he thought he had, other things to attend to than being a part of, Sarazawa's whole Kaiju war. Blade actually says he does here, and there are actually more things at stake here than just trying to defend his planet from a constant invasion from, from another universe, and actually asked Iron Man if he could help him out in that department. While that's happening, or while that conversation is happening, we fast forward to Sydney, Australia, where a Category 3 mutivore has just busted through the the supposedly rebuilt Australian wall here. Grimlock is deployed onto the scene with little to no time to waste here, and absolutely bodies Mutivore. He begins to tear at him, begins to tear him apart, flip him over, and toss him around through the city. Albeit the fight does cause massive destruction just because Grimlock wants to test out how his fighting capabilities are against just one Kaiju. Remember in the last part he fought three and was really having the help of Iron Man backing him because, a lot of things were at stake here. But he never got to take his time or at least enjoy fighting other Kaiju. So he actually does it here and actually does dismantle Mutivore quite easily. Mutivore throws a punch, Grimlock casually blocks it despite his, smaller human-like size, and is able to tear Mutivore's arm off and beat him with it. Basically, some type of Mortal Kombat type of, type of maneuver here, making it, pretty much gruesome here. He kills Mutivore, splashes blood everywhere. Military does come and to clean it up. The kaiju collectors do come and get their fair share of it to harvest the kaiju resources, the skin louse, all that good stuff. Grimlock, however, isn't wasting any time and dives into the sea here. He actually says that he needs to find whatever energy signature these creatures come from, so that he can properly get a hold on where they could possibly prevent future breaches. Opening his Ghidorah senses here, he actually begins to show that he has the ability to sense another person's energy and sense all forms of energy, from radiation to pretty much all forms of types of radiation here. He even senses the energy signature, but he actually follows it to Atlantis. This is the Marvel Universe Atlantis, I do believe. A live action, version of it would be excuse me real quick. A live action version of the Marvel Atlantis would probably, yeah, I gotta say it would outdo Wakanda, outdo DC's Atlantis in my opinion. And this is when he's greeted by Wave once he gets a little too close here. Wave is an Atlantean in the Marvel comics here, and honestly, I don't know an actress that would be able to portray her. So honestly, just consider, some things won't be live action here, some things will be comic originated. Grimlock does explain his presence to her and actually explains that he sensed an energy sorry, sensed an energy similar to those of the breaches at Atlantis. He actually begins to scan for that energy until Wave actually attacks him without warning. Wave uses her superior speed underwater to actually create a whirlpool. This would probably be like, don't really know the categories for whirlpools, but it would be like so strong it creates a wind gust, creates its own tornado like right above the surface. Basically, you could say it's like a category, let's call it a category 12 whirlpool. Something so strong it should be able to rip apart an entire city. Basically, something like that here. And she proceeds to actually physically wail on Grimlock despite the fact that Grimlock isn't feeling these blows here, and Grimlock is still focusing on the energy signature. He then decides to pull his own tornadoes, reversing the actual whirlpool itself with the wind molecules, trapped in the whirlpool. He reverses it and actually traps her in a tornado, lifting her up off the ground and almost killing her until he's pretty much, says, "Oh shoot, wait a minute. Oh, I'm about to kill you. Oh, my bad." Just disperses the tornado, and she's about to land. She actually dives at him with a whole, drop punch. She's got some momentum going. She has like that downward punch coming down until Grimlock pretty much smacks her right back down to the ocean floor with surprising speed. This is when an authoritative voice tells him to stop, and it's Namor. Now, if you guys want to know how I would picture a live action Namor, I think the best portrayal. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm going to give the new actor that's playing Namor in the Black Panther 2 movie a chance. But I think Luke Evans would be a fantastic Namor. I think he would just play that role out super well, man. I'm telling y'all, Luke Evans would just, he would be perfect for that role. He would bathe in the glory of that role. So Namor does offer, his hand in friendship in exchange for, actual conversation with Grimlock, so they don't have any, type of fighting here. So Grimlock and Namor do go to their throne room where they have a conversation where Namor actually explains his role in the, Kaiju wars. He actually says that he wouldn't want to help the Surfer World due to the fact that they've actually been having problems with the Kaiju. And the fact that they've actually made a deal with the Precursors, stating that they can attack the surface world if they let Atlantis be. Grimlock was not taking any kind to this, as he says, so the blood of not only your people, but the surface world people are on your hands. Namor and him get into a heated argument about what is the right thing to do for both sides of the world. Let one be extinguished or let them both thrive. Grimlock is with letting them both thrive, while Namor is actually fine with letting the surface world be extinguished. With Grimlock actually noting that Namor has more blood on his hands due to the fact that not only is he, siding with the people who killed who killed Atlanteans, but the ones who killed those on the surface world, and this allows Grimlock to basically get a solid blow on Namor here. Now this fight is actually, I think the fight is actually pretty interesting in my opinion. I think it could pretty much go in the way of a Hulk versus Namor classic type fight here. Maybe a Hercules versus Namor type fight here. You never know. I think that's the one thing I love about characters that just never, go into the same verse here, is the fact that they have their own ways of fighting each other, and they've actually fought in verses that both scale to each other. Transformers and Marvel do scale to each other in their powerhouses, in their cosmology is a bit similar, is a bit the same here. So Grimlock and Namor, right? These two go at it hard to the point where Namor actually has to take him to the surface and try to beat him in air, to which Grimlock actually replies that was a very bad mistake here. As he explains, he has Ghidorah cells, which give him an actual, aerodynamic presence in the air, and he begins to use it against Namor, putting a beat down on him, actually winning the fight, but does cause planet-wide havoc. Okay, so they actually fight each other so hard that they shake the planet. This is when they're at the they're still at the coast of Australia during this entire fight. Meant to say that. So as Atlanteans rise up, this is when we see Ren Sarazawa actually, appear with a bunch of Jaegers here. A bunch of, I think they were Mach 5 in the Uprising. Yeah, they were about Mach 5 and one was Mach 6 here. Eventually, Grimlock and Namor do come to a settlement here, to which, they both agree that they need to work together in order to prevent a better place here, that they could possibly move Atlantis to another area. That way they have a better chance here. Ren Sarazawa actually calls a worldwide conference here. So Ren Sarazawa should have this kind of power due to the fact that his father is one of the few people that saved the world from King Ghidorah and Godzilla King of the Monsters. So at this conference, Namor actually starts to proclaim peace with the surface world. A little, it's a little, a shaky treaty here, but this is when Grimlock reinforces it, saying that he will be, the bridge between Atlantis and the surface world. This is when we see other kings and queens come out and present themselves as wanting peace due to the fact that Atlantis is a national superpower. This includes Elsa, this includes Queen Shuri, this includes Dracula himself, several other monsters that want to proclaim their peace, but they do need help in their countries as well, to which Grimlock offers his hand and extends it to both queens and actually shakes Dracula's hand after them, to the which he will do his best to actually help out their kingdoms. But all doesn't go as planned here at this peace conference. This is when Doctor Strange, played by let's keep it real. I would say this is the Benedict Cumberbatch Doctor Strange. All right, I love that version. This is definitely my version of the MCU Doctor Strange. Basically, similar to the What If Doctor Strange here. And this is when we actually see him open a portal, and this is when Blade's team steps out, pretty much with Ghost Rider, Lilith, Nico, Captain Marvel, Captain America, and Iron Man. Grimlock actually this comic pretty much ends with Grimlock holding his sword and shield pointing at the Midnight Suns. And that's where we're going to leave it off here, you guys. So, tell me what you guys think. Please comment, like, and subscribe, and share with your friends. And I'll see you guys for Grimlock versus the Midnight Suns. Sorry this chapter was a little bit short, and sorry the Namor fight was a bit short here. Thought it would be longer in my head, but Yeah. But anyway, comment, like, and subscribe. Share with your friends. And I'll see you guys later. Peace.